A very warm welcome to everyone joining us from all over the world. You are currently witnessing the recording room here at KAMK, Erica and Inka, faculty students here at KAMK. My name is Ilias. I'm an international business at KAMK. I'm also the project associate for Greece. However, today we're going to be talking a bit about English taught bachelor degrees. You can find here at KAMK. Now you ask, what is KAMK? Now KAMK is a university where your experience is directly connected with the education and theoretical concepts you absorb throughout your classes. You might ask at the same time, what exactly connects us all here? Erica is an esports business degree student. I'm international business, she's tourism, and the two individuals that will be joining us after are sports and leisure. Now, the main thing that connects us all is the experience that we've attained throughout our degrees, through our studies here at KAMK, how we have connected the evident cases provided to us by our great teachers to the theoretical concepts we have absorbed. So, without further ado, and without really delaying this any longer, I would like to head over to Erica here. Erica, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Erika Vahe. I'm third year Esports Business student, and I'm from Tampere, Finland. So very south of Finland, especially compared to Kajaani.
Indeed. So, first of all, you're an esports business degree student. How does that make you feel? Like saying, "Oh, I study esports." How does that make you feel overall? Like as a feeling?
Well, I like saying that I'm an Esports Business student or Esports student overall, but usually I have to explain it to people like more, even though it is just the same as the business studies. We just have the esports side of it. Like we specialize in esports. But still for some reason I always have to explain to people that I'm a business student.
I want to touch upon a bit something you just said. Although you have business studies within your curriculum, the first year of studies, you evidently shared many of the courses with the international business degree students. Now, how exactly did that make you feel? Being first introduced to the concept of business and then later on led within a much more specific path down the line of your esports studies?
Well, it was what I came here for. So I came here specifically for the esports, and since I already did is like business degree in vocational school before coming here, so I knew most of the stuff that we studied during the first year.
I see. Now I want to ask you a bit about. I've already said many times hands-on experience, practical cases, the practicality of our degree. Okay. However, what exactly does that mean for you as an esports degree student? Have you done something in your degree which goes under the saying of hands-on experience? Can you give me a few examples, perhaps?
We haven't done too many of projects like that. I have personally done projects with the international business degree. That we have the chance to work with you guys too. And then, well, we have KAMK.gg, our organization, which I'm part of.
As the marketing manager, if I may add.
The marketing manager, yes. So that is probably the biggest practical experience we've had in the esports. Although we've had some like study trips and stuff like that, but we haven't really worked with any companies or anything. So most of the esports students, they are either part of KAMK.gg or they're working with KAMK Esports Cup.
From what I've heard, KAMK.gg is an overall student-owned organization developed by you guys, the esports students. Yes. Now, I'll add more to that later on while I'm overall presenting the international business degree. However, I want to ask you this. Overall, throughout the past months, I've observed that you guys have been sponsored by numerous organizations, one of them being AimLab.
Yes.
How does that feel? You're sponsored by AimLab, Cooler Master, Kaisanet, and Monster. Well, Monster through KAMK.gg. However, how does that feel being connected to such big names?
It feels pretty great. Like you get such a good connections through that, and with KAMK.gg you will learn how the sponsorships work, marketing stuff work, event management, and all that.
Especially when the esports degree is already directly connected with Hitmarker,
yes.
A huge name in regards to job acquisition within the highly competitive industry of esports. So, with that being said, I would like to ask you one final question overall. Your English is fantastic. Therefore, I want you to tell me a bit about your experience with studying in such an international environment. How did that make you feel?
I enjoyed a lot. Actually, now I think I have more problems with speaking in Finnish than in English. And like before coming here, I already studied in English. I already had background. So I personally really enjoy the international environment that we get to study in, and I get to have friends from all around the world, and yeah, I think it's great, and it's a great experience for
Exactly.
everyone.
It adds to the whole total experience of the internationalism that you attain to this
Yes.
university. Because after all, this is a university that puts great emphasis upon the international concept.
Yeah.
I personally don't really possess much of a knowledge in regards to the esports degree. However, with the insight you just provided me, I assume it's a really great degree to be in.
It is.
It's a blooming industry after all.
Yes.
So, fantastic. Is there anything that you want to add, maybe? A side note, do you?
Well, what comes to the international studies and studying in English, you don't have to have perfect English to come
Yeah, you
here.
don't have to sound like a native speaker. You
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you will learn
Yeah.
while you're studying here. So
And your language skills will develop.
yeah, even though it maybe it is quite scary to start studying in different language other than your
Definitely.
mother tongue. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but still, it is worth the quote unquote risk.
I remember how scared I was the first time I was excited overall speaking English, and then now I'm actually having difficulty speaking Greek. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. It's fine. So let's perhaps proceed to the very next degree, which is international business.
It's your turn.
Roles reverse.
Yes.
So as I said, my name is Ilias Avgeropoulos. I'm an international business degree student here at KAMK. This is my very final semester, after which I will be doing my thesis and my practical training. I'm very excited, quite nervous, but getting there, getting things done.
Very relatable.
Getting things done. So yeah, I want to connect something that you said earlier about KAMK.gg. Now, I mentioned that KAMK.gg is an esports. It's a student-owned organization,
Yes.
right? Developed by esports students. However, I am directly connected and linked to that organization as an
Yes.
international business degree student. I'm not esports. My knowledge in regards to the esports industry is quite lacking, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However, I was able, with the knowledge and theoretical concepts which I absorbed throughout my courses, to link all of that, all of the experience attained throughout these courses, within an esports organization, within the department of marketing. However, I would like to also mention that I did learn a bit, but not enough about esports. So,
Yes. Back to your degree.
yes.
Tell us something. Tell us something about your studies.
So as the name suggests, international business, you are highly linked with internationalism. The environment and the atmosphere that is built within your classroom is evidently a huge. It's linked to international globalization. Every single thing that connects everyone is exactly evidently showcased within the degree. Now, you may ask, how exactly is that the case? The thing is, the very first semester of my studies here at KAMK, I was connected to a project called Pure Protein. You were also
I
part of
was
it.
part of that.
Exactly. You were directly connected to it,
Yes.
but evidently my group and I assisted in the promotional activities and endeavors showcased here at KAMK. Unfortunately, COVID did not allow us to implement that project to its full extent. However, the teachers that were behind the evident collaboration did a fantastic job at actually providing us with as real as of a case as possible. Now we can take as an evident example the most recent collaboration opportunities which were showcased to the international business degree. For example, earlier I was giving a presentation in regards to how a local hotel can expand its endeavors, its establishments to the Singaporean market. The very previous semester, for the very same hotel, we expanded their endeavors and their marketing plans to Vietnam. So we are literally attaining so much knowledge and experience, being able to link the theoretical concepts absorbed from the teachings of our tutors to actual practical implementation and attainment of hands-on experience. Another example which I would like to mention is PlanRay. Now, with PlanRay, I'm not gonna specifically go too much into detail about what exactly we did for the company.
Yeah.
Our PlanRay is a trace heating company specializing in industrial trace heating, and we assisted them in their business endeavors. Huge thanks to the CEO of the company for including us in their business endeavors. That is highly appreciated. This had to thank. However, I know I've been speaking a lot, but it's the massive practicality and hands-on experience that you're attaining from the degree that is worth mentioning here. So, do you have any comments on?
Well, on the hands-on experience, you guys get to do a lot for different organizations.
Do you mean compared to your degree? As an esports business
Especially
student?
compared to esports business.
Well,
Yeah, as someone who presents KAMK to a lot of high schoolers and vocational, do you guys feel like you have the ability when you graduate to work in an international environment well, given what you have learned while being here in KAMK?
Yes.
Do you feel like you will be at the top while you were working in international organizations or international environments, that you will have the know-how and the knowledge to be the best that you can?
definitely.
Definitely, yes.
And that can be observed through our consistent interaction with the organization of KAMK.gg. KAMK.gg has developed so many events, Kayak Invitational, it was most recently the Valorant Radio Rumble.
Yeah.
All of these events are connected to massive sponsors, big names within the esports industry. And out of other brands, they chose KAMK.gg. Why? For efficiency, for the individuals that are presenting the organization. Therefore, yes, I believe that the teachings that we're attending here, whether it is esports or whether it is international business, do put us on the top of the leaderboard, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the quality is really good. The studies. It is great.
Now, before I finalize with international business, I would like to perhaps touch upon the English part, the question which I asked you earlier, Erica, and I
Yes.
made a comment. Now I'm from Greece. The accent is probably giving that away. But in the beginning of my studies, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit scared. I was afraid, is my vocabulary gonna be enough? Is my accent gonna be understandable by my peers, my colleagues, but the teachers even? And evidently, it was more than enough. I didn't possess much vocabulary knowledge. I didn't possess a fluent accent. I'm not a native speaker. Yet, I am thriving in the degree,
Yeah.
in the industry, whether it is sports or whether it is whatever I do or will be doing in the near future. So, yes. Now we've covered esports, we've covered international business, so perhaps we should cover
Tourism. Yeah, hi, hello. I'm Inga Saloma. I am a tourism and hospitality management student here at KAMK, and I'm actually a first year student. I started in August, so I'm a pretty fresh student here at KAMK.
Well, it's really great to have you here with us.
Thank you.
So, I want you to provide me with a very generic definition of your degree. What exactly is it that you do?
My degree is a very well-rounded degree. We study everything that has anything to do with the word tourism, from accommodation to event management to food services to customer service to anything really that has anything to do with interacting with people and providing them with any sort of service.
So overall, you are possessing more of a sustainable approach upon the industry. You're not really attaining knowledge which is rather toxic towards the community rather, or the industry. You're possessing the knowledge of how to guide individuals, how to assess their wants and needs, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. We go a lot through different theoretical things about tourists and how they behave, why they behave like that, why do people choose to go to certain places, why they choose to eat certain foods, why they don't want to go to certain areas, and those are the theoretical aspects that we learn about tourism. We do some business studies as well, of course, to learn about everything that goes on behind the scenes. But we, so far have mainly focused on the theoretical parts. So not yet that much hands-on experience, but I know that in the future we will get a lot of it.
You will.
Yeah.
From my understanding, your degree, regardless of the practical training, which you will evidently have to go through in order to finalize your degree, to my understanding, within your studies, you are evidently introduced and implemented within the ecosystem of a specific company. Do you know the name of that company, perhaps?
No.
Right. So, pretty much so tourism as well as sports students are required to be implemented within a specific company, which is consistently collaborating with KAMK in order to finalize a portion of your degrees. I'm not referring to practical training here, however, I'm referring to the hands-on experience, which you'll be ultimately attaining evidently. Now, I want to ask you a bit about the internationalism of your group.
Yeah, I'm actually the only Finnish person in my class. Everyone else is international degree students. So it has been very interesting. I'm very used to being in an international environment, given that I used to bartend at an Irish bar back in Tampere, where I'm from. Yeah, we're both from the same city. We were just bonding over it before. My boss was Argentinian. My closest co-workers were from Romania and Ireland. So I'm very used to talking in English, and I'm very confident in my English, even though I know like it's not the best, but it could be worse. Yeah, and I had the advantage of learning English at a very young age, at age 7. So I've always been very confident in my English, and I knew that I will be like okay with studying in English, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose KAMK and why I chose tourism here at KAMK. And it has given me a lot, being able to network with people from different countries, to be able to network with other students from other degrees, international students. And it has given me, in a certain way, a lot of confidence in my own studies, because I know that when I get back into work life, I have more experiences. I have more confidence in myself working with international groups and with international individuals. So it has been awesome.
I want to hear from you in a really brutal truth, honesty, pretty much. So I want you to be brutally honest with me. What is your impression on your degree?
My degree is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I am planning on specializing. Oh, that's a hard word. I never can pronounce that. Yeah, specialize in event management. And it's my first year, and I've already agreed on one project study. I get to arrange an event in my home city for a dear friend of mine whose company I'm going to work with. But we have not started even properly planning it yet, so I'm not going to say anything more. But I'm able to organize an event by myself, basically. And I am getting the trust of my school. Like, come trust me that I can do it, and they're going to support me, and they're gonna like provide almost anything that I need to be able to like make this happen. I can include it in my studies. I get hands-on experience on event management, and I just get to see it firsthand, and I get to do things by myself. And I know that I have the trust of my school behind me. Like, I don't have to worry about it, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Before we proceed to the very next degree, which is the sports and leisure degree, I would actually like to expand upon what you just said about the support of KAMK. Now, KAMK is indeed very supportive and very flexible when it comes to your
Yes,
studies.
definitely.
That is one thing that I've noticed throughout my specific endeavors within my own curriculum, within the esports degree studies, and now
Definitely.
you're concretely justifying the very same
Yeah.
thing.
I came straight from working life. I actually graduated high school in 2018, so I've been in the working life and in the military in between. So I'm very eager to get back to work. I definitely want to get my degree, but I've done the partying, I've done the studying, like I've gone through that phase already, so I would really much like to get my degree as fast as I can, kinda. I love KAMK as a school and I love to study here, but I want to get out of here as well, as I think many others ones as well. And I've gotten so much support to get more courses done. I'm getting 54 credits this semester alone, thanks to my teachers. Without their help, I could have never accomplished 54 credits in one semester without a burnout. And I had so many opportunities already, and I've been studying for like, what, 3-4 months? I'm not even sure. But I've been here for like a millisecond, and
It feels like you're part of the community.
yeah,
part of-
definitely.
That's actually one great about the teachers. The teachers are very supportive.
They are.
And very understanding. Like, for example, with me, I've had some personal problems which has affected my studies, but all my teachers have been super understanding on
Definitely.
that and giving me extra time. I'll get my work done. I think that's one the great thing about
Yeah,
this school.
like, I don't care about Kajaani that much because I come from a bigger city, Tampere, and I love living in a on Finland scale, Tampere is a big city.
It is.
And I love that city to death, but KAMK is worth it. KAMK was
It
worth moving
definitely-
500 kilometers away,
Yes.
and KAMK is worth being away from my family. And the school is just very much worth it. My degree is everything I wanted and more. The school is everything I wanted and more. I'm going to a student fair in a while to go present KAMK at Studia Fair in Helsinki. And I've just gotten so many opportunities to do other things besides of like just going to lectures or attending class through the school. And I'm very grateful that I decided, I'm very glad that I chose to come to KAMK, and I'm very grateful that I am all the time being given these opportunities. Like this, for example, participating in KAMK Live and getting experience through this, speaking to an audience and participating in streaming. And
Exactly. I have very similar feelings in regards to the. I feel like KAMK has created a sort of community here, like a really good
Definitely.
community. When the teachers don't feel like they're like there to school you, they're just your friends. They're guiding you. They're your
Yeah.
mentors, pretty much. The experience that you are attaining through their eyes, through their personal endeavors,
Yeah.
is what is gonna evidently, push you to the real world prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, a shout out to Kaisa, our English teacher. She explains this perfectly. There's a power balance between students and teachers everywhere in the world. In most of countries, that teachers are right here on top of something. They're standing on a stool, and then the students are here at the bottom. But in Finland, we somehow managed, somewhere along the line, to level those balances. And even though the teachers are still the authority, they're on the same level as you. You give the same respect to each other. Like, you respect the teachers, they respect you.
You need to be able to give it back. So
Exactly.
definitely, I agree with you on that one. So, having addressed that, perhaps I think it's time that
for
we
the
move on to our
sports.
sports students.
Welcome, Jasmina.
So I would like to welcome to the room Robert and Smina. How are you guys? How are you feeling?
Fine, thanks.
Lovely. Now we have went over our evident esports business degree, our national business degree. We've went over our tourism. So now it's time to go over sports and leisure. So I want you guys to first of all introduce yourselves. I want you guys to talk a bit about your experience overall, and from there on we'll see how we proceed.
Okay, so hi. I am Yasmina Bakia. I am sports student first. Rob is my classmate. And I am here straight from high school, so no university experience.
Hi, I'm Rob Johnston, originally from the UK. As you can see, I'm a little bit of an older student, which is not a problem. I thought it would be coming to KAMK, but definitely not. And with my background being an ex-professional sportsman, I thought it would be a challenge. I really did. But the groups here, the teachers here, the lecturers here, just the whole setup here is just awesome. It's amazing.
It's really welcoming.
And so I've felt at home straight away. Best decision I ever made.
That's actually fantastic to hear. I would like to perhaps go directly into the very first topic and question more like. I want you guys to talk a bit about your degree, specifically the technical aspect of it. I understand you guys are attaining some theoretical concepts and absorbing them through your courses, but do talk a bit about your technicalities here, the technical.
Well, from the degree point of view and from the technicality point of view, you actually get involved in everything. If it comes to gymnastics or whether it's to athletics, swimming, volleyball, that type of thing, you actually partake in that and you actually learn how the game works. Actually, you learn the rules, you learn all the different aspects of it. So from the technical side, it's opening up you to a much wider field than what you would normally think. I'm doing sports I've never ever done before. And yeah, just loving it. It's that hands-on approach is just phenomenal. The facilities here, the athletic facilities here, or the sports facilities here, not just on campus but also off campus, which we are allowed to use, is just brilliant. We've got the Winter Olympic Centre, which is 30 kilometers from here. We're going to be doing a lot of work there in our second year. Really looking forward to that because that is a top class institution as well. So we get hands-on experience with that, and it's priceless. It really is. And that will then obviously carry on through with your career wherever you want to go, because in the sports field, it's not just about sports and leisure. There's so many wide varieties or fields that you can actually take. You can be a sports instructor, or you can be a gym instructor, you can be a sports coach. My aim is to basically go on and teach cyclists to become world class, so I'm more involved in the sports performance side.
Right.
So, and this is the ideal opportunity to get involved. And I feel that the way that KAMK is organized, when we've done our succession planning or future planning for our studies, when I gave them my idea about what I'd like to do on my practical studies, I thought, that'll never happen. And and I turned around and said, yep, we'll make that happen. That is just awesome. Absolutely awesome.
The flexibility offered by KAMK, as well as the support, a subject we touched upon in regards to our tourism student here, is phenomenal. The support, the amount of support, the consistent support is not just once. They're going to constantly support you.
That's it. And from the technical aspect as well of the sports, it's just not about doing the sport. It's the psychology behind the whole sports arena that you're actually going to be in, how people work, how people operate, how people think. And it just broadens your horizon amazingly.
Now I wanna touch upon another topic that's rather controversial within this topic, within this room. I want you to talk a bit about the internationalism within your group.
Well, we have one thing.
Two.
But there is like Rob, UK. You also lived in
In Africa,
yeah.
yeah.
Then we have Morocco, Slovakia, Hong Kong. So there is like a big diversity between us. And to communicate all of those cultures and how the business or the sports are in those different countries is just amazing to get all of this knowledge in such a like short time. We've been here for like 3 months, maybe. So like you get that experience with every classmate, every teacher.
Definitely. Absorbing cultures all over the world and just utilizing the very same knowledge you attain from those different cultures, the discrepancies of those cultures, and implementing them somehow within your own future endeavors. That is something which is evidently utilized within the international business degree as well as from the esports side of things. So I want to ask you a very, very generic question. If you could describe your degree in one word, one adjective, what would it be?
Wow.
In
Yeah.
a safe manner, please. Possible.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Lovely. Do you guys have anything you want to add about your degrees? Anything you want to share with the audience?
Well, from my side, I would just want to say that the educational system here in Finland is just top notch. There's no such thing as the teacher is above you or anything like that. Everybody is on a level field. You approach them on a first name basis. Any problems, you just go and have a chat with them. It gets sorted out. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I know I've been all over the world. I've stayed in a couple of countries apart from Finland, and had a look at their educational systems. And when I was going to school 40 years ago, something like that, you weren't allowed to talk in class. You weren't allowed to be stand up or walk around if you're feeling a little bit tired or stuff like that. But here you're actively encouraged to do this. And if you disagree with someone or disagree with what is being taught, put your point forward. And it's discussed. It's never, ever shot down. It's just awesome.
The courses themselves are evidently built upon your own input and experiences. For example, I want to name this pretty much in international business. Okay, say one individual has a different point of view, a different perspective upon the subject discussed. Then the whole class, the whole point of that specific subject is going to turn into a discussion, including everybody's opinion into the matter.
Yeah.
And out of that, there's no better thing to absorb other than the fact that the different cultures, the different nationalities, different personalities within the classroom are collaborating and evidently building the class, the lesson that you are absorbing in the end.
And I also think the hands-on thing that we're allowed to do. We're off to Ruka Nordic in a week and a half's time, where we are actually going to be interacting with the top sports stars from all over the European Union. And we're actually going there as volunteers. Myself and Yasmina are on the attaché teams. So we will be assigned to countries and we will be helping looking after the teams there. And I mean, to get that experience it's amazing.
And this is something that KAMK has organized for you guys?
It is, yeah, absolutely. It's part of our projects that we have to do. And when they brought up the idea, this is part of your project, would you like to do? You'll get credits from it. I mean, absolutely, we signed up straight away.
So you've been KAMK for 3 months now, and you're already within the industry. You're already attaining hands-on experience.
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing that you guys get to do that during the first year already,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and there will be more projects coming
Yeah, so
Yeah.
during the years. And like you mentioned that during the second year, it's the Vuokatti,
Yeah.
the winter.
The Winter Olympic Center.
That's one of the biggest Olympic events in Finland.
Mhm.
You guys get to work on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's it's and don't be afraid to ask to do something because KAMK is behind you 100% in anything that you might require.
one final thing that I want to ask you. Now you are a native speaker, so perhaps
I did finish question.
how does it feel overall attaining that knowledge, the differences between the cultures and everything? How does it feel being received in English and you expressing yourself in English?
Well, I went to bilingual high school in English, so I'm used to studying in
Mhm.
English. But the experience to actually speak with people that maybe, or maybe they definitely don't understand my native language, so I am like pushed to speak English and to experience everything in the language, which is great because then I can go anywhere in the world and I will be able to understand, speak the language, to get the information. It was a bit scary at first, but now that we're making more contacts, friends, networking is getting easier.
Exactly. And I assume the networking and the contacts and friends, just purely social. We're not referring to inside the classroom anymore. We're referring to the life that is influenced directly by KAMK, by the services provided by KAMK, as well as the evident opportunities provided by KAMK,
Yeah.
such as this here.
And on the other side, me being a native English speaker, having to learn Finnish. Well, there you go. That's a superpower on its own.
How's that going?
It's going well. The interesting thing is that being in that environment, in the Finnish environment, you tend to pick it up a lot quicker.
Yes.
And a lot of the students actually encourage you to speak Finnish as well. So instead of saying good morning, it's huomenta. So you get used to using it in everyday life. And we've basically been told that within like 2 years, 2.5 years, we won't even realize we were actually quite fluent in Finnish. But yeah, it's an experience to start with, to be quite honest. But it's fun. It really, really is. The whole vibe here is just amazing.
That's really good to know. So, I believe that is all about our degrees. We've covered esports business, we've covered international business, we've covered tourism with Inka, and now we've covered sports and leisure with you, Robert and Esmina. Now, before we finalize with our talk here on KAMK Live, and believe me, it's been a pleasure being able to transmit our experiences and knowledge upon what we're doing here at KAMK and within our degrees. I believe it is important for us to perhaps address some technicalities as to how to apply, how to become part of this amazing community that KAMK has created here. First of all, I would like to mention that the application period is from the 5th until the 19th of January 2022. Now, please, when you are looking to apply, it is important for you to be looking into the entry requirements as well as the evident paperwork that needs to be filed in whenever you're going through the process. All of this information is available and clearly stated on the KAMK website. Now, the main portal which is utilized in order to perform the application is on studyinfo.pesti.fi. There it is, the Finnish, coming in. But of course, please do keep in mind that if you are a citizen that is not from within the European Union, you will have to pay 6,000 euros, which is the tuition fee here at KAMK. Now, with that being said, there is also opportunities for scholarship and reduction of that tuition fee, with one of them being the early bird application, where if you accept your study place within the very 2 first weeks of your acceptance, you receive a minus 50% of the original price, which leads to you having to pay only 3,000 euros. Now, continuing down the path of your studies, if you choose to continue, there is evident opportunities based on merit, where if you receive 55 credits per academic year, you are enabled to reduce your tuition fee by another 50%. And in addition to that, if you prove that your Finnish knowledge, that your knowledge upon the Finnish language and the skill sets that you possess upon the very language are sufficient, then you receive another minus 50% reduction, evidently allowing you to pay nothing for an academic year. However, it is important to mention that the Finnish knowledge language skill test can only be utilized as a tuition fee reduction methodology once. However, the 55 credits can be utilized again and again. Before we end with this session, I would also like to touch upon the accommodations, the apartments here that are evident, and allow housing for our students. I assume you guys are living in either near campus or in an apartment owned by Kajaani and Petery. Is that the case?
Yes.
Is that the case for you?
Yes.
Well, it is the case for me. What about you, Incan?
I live in a private rented apartment.
Right.
In the center.
I see.
I'm a bit different.
You're a bit different.
I have my own home.
Lovely. Well, as you guys can see, there's multiple opportunities here for housing for the students, whether you want to be living in your own house, in your own private rented apartment. However, there is also the possibility of living in an establishment by Kajaani and Petery. Kajaani and Petery is now an evident landlord, to say the least, directly connected with KAMK. There's establishments of Kajaani and Petery near our university, near the campus, where you literally leave the apartment and within 2 minutes you are ready for your class of academic English, to say that something more Finnish for foreigners. Now, when you are within one of those student accommodations, the rent is subject to change, of course. However, for now it's 325 euros, including rent, electricity, and water, as well as internet in most cases. Now, when you're getting in contact with to set up your own accommodation, your own student accommodation, in most cases, if you're living here on campus, it is already furnished. However, if you choose to live somewhere more further away from the university, that is also subject to change, as many of the apartments are either furnished or not furnished, and the rent is also evidently a subject based on your own preferences, whether you want 1 room, 2 rooms, so on, so on. Now, with that being said, and by having addressed all 4 different English bachelor degrees that are found here at KAMK, having addressed the accommodations in addition to the application period, how you can apply, where you should be looking to attain that information. Again, on our website, you can attain much more information in detail, not only about the application period, but about the degrees which were mentioned just now, as well as the requirements for you to apply. I would like to thank every single one of you guys for participating in KAMK Live. It's been actually fantastic having you here. It's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I'm 100% sure it's been a pleasure for our viewers and listeners attaining a better understanding in regards to what we do here at KAMK, how is the community built and shaped, and what exactly are our expectations upon the degree. We want to be top, on the very top of the leaderboards here, on the very top of the ladder in the respective industries we've chosen to participate in. So, to our dear viewers and listeners, I thank you so much for your attention and for listening to us and viewing this fantastic KAMK Live session. Please feel free to, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat of the stream. However, please do follow KAMK on the very respective social media, whether that is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and very soon TikTok, where we're going to be uploading more stuff about our degrees our everyday lives, giving you insights on what it feels like to be either international student, either business esports degree student, tourism student, or sports student. So thank you guys. It's been fantastic. Goodbye.
Thank you.